Millennium Gloucester Hotel in London, England, we present the second staging of the RJR Gleaner UK Honour Awards.
It's the second staging of the RJR Gleaner UK Honours Award. Last year we had the first edition. For those of you who were here, it was a great afternoon, and we celebrated some wonderful nominees and award winners. So this year is the second year, and last year actually was the 70th birthday of the Gleaner, the UK Weekly Gleaner. And this year is special as well because it's 75 years of Windrush, as I'm sure most, if not all of you in this room should know about. Can we just get a round of applause for the 75th anniversary of the Windrush? And of course, it's also Black History Month. And we are proud to be a part of a history that means so much to so many. So I now invite the CEO and the chairman of the UK Weekly Gleaner and also the CEO of RJR Communications Group, Mr. Gary Allen, to the stage to bring us greetings. Please put your hands together for Mr. Gary Allen.
Master of Ceremonies, His Excellency, the Honourable Alexander Williams, Jamaica's new High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, the chairman of the selection committee for the UK Gleaner Honour Awards, our awardees from last year, our nominees this year, and the awardees that we will recognize later on in the function. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen all, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the function today and to say how pleased I am to be here with you. Now, last year I was asked to be here and I didn't show up. I had a good reason. I don't know if there's anyone who was here from last year who remembered what it was, but I told you, you are going through prime ministers quickly. And I didn't want to get caught up in being selected and thrown into a position and thrown out. So I decided that I would better send a message and hope that things settle down and come next year. So here I am. Happy to be with you all. Now, this year, we are marking the special dedication of this awards to the 75th celebration of the Windrush movement, and I call it movement because it is in fact a movement that was started by our people in this country to make it a better place. We are honored that you have taken time this afternoon to spend some of the time that we are in this location with us as we look at honoring those people who have helped to make an outstanding contribution in our community, and we wish to celebrate significant milestones with them. Permit me, on behalf of all of you and on behalf of my organization, to extend a special welcome, High Commissioner, to you. I gather you have hit the ground running. You have been doing a lot, but this represents a little bit of respite for you because this is a friendly group that is here to exchange some spirits with you and make sure that you feel warm even though you have not acclimatized as yet to the sudden change in weather. And it is our wish and our hope that on your tour of duty that you will find that there are mutually beneficial things that we can do, and that in fact your overall tour will be a resounding success. Last year, we used these awards and the event to celebrate 70 years of the Weekly Gleaner. The newspaper is one of the oldest ethnic titles, publishing consistently in the United Kingdom for over 7 decades. Copies of the Daily Gleaner, Jamaica's most loved newspaper, those copies were imported back then and sold in England from 1951. Just 3 years after the arrival of the Empire Windrush in 1948, bringing the first major wave of Caribbean migrants to these shores. Those migrants were answering the call from Great Britain to help rebuild their country after the ravages of the Second World War. because those who came were homesick. Well, some Jamaican food, yes, but then they started to turn them hand and make fashion. But they wanted news and information from home. The demand for the newspaper grew, which then led to them relying on us for information. That is what drove the Weekly Gleaner to begin its publications in July of 1952. In the decades that have followed, many more Jamaicans and Caribbean people made Britain their home, and they have used their skills, our culture, to further enrich the life on these shores, and actually to spice up things in Britain which otherwise could be a little dull and dreary. So the Weekly Gleaner has journeyed with all the Jamaicans who came then, and we have been here for most of the time. It is for those reasons that the RJR Gleaner Communications Group decided that one of the ways to celebrate the newspaper's existence for the past 70 years was to recognize that journey, and recognize that on that journey we could not have done it alone, and that we could not have done the things that have made a significant impact without the help of others. Others such as those that we are awarding today for the tremendous contribution that they have made and continue to make to our communities here in this kingdom. So ladies and gentlemen, I won't spend too much more time telling you about how I feel about the United Kingdom and what we have done. I'll just briefly mention that over the last 6 weeks, we have put out a call in our newspaper for people to nominate those who from among them they feel have made a significant difference. And between June and August, we had dozens of nominations. That will culminate in 19 awards being presented today, and you'll notice that that is up from the 12 that was done last year, because there is more to recognize, and people believe that newspapers really only like bad things, but we do like to recognize good things too. So here we are, spending time with you, enjoying your company, and asking you to congratulate all of those who were nominated, because being nominated alone is an achievement, and those who will be eventual winners, to hold them up and to celebrate with them. Finally, I want to thank our sponsors. Without the sponsors, we would not have been able to do this alone. And our main sponsor has brought some spirit to the room, Jerry and Nephew. We thank them for it. We also thank Grace Kennedy for their support, and our parent company back in Jamaica, the RJR Gleaner Communications Group. So I want to congratulate all, and I want to especially thank our winners for the work that they do, continue to do without looking for recognition. But here we are recognizing you.
So here to bring us greetings and welcome from the Rock, all the way from back home, is our keynote speaker for this afternoon, the Honourable Edmund Bartlett, Minister of Tourism for Jamaica.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, awardees. A Catholic bishop between 396 and 430 AD, best known for his writings which have influenced Western philosophy and theology for centuries, suggested that even in the face of evil, good can still be found. There's truth to that. And while the atrocities of the slave trade will forever be a blot on Britain's infamous colonial past, we do ourselves an injustice if we blind our minds to the fact that even as the fight for justice and reparation must be relentless, there are some good things coming out of that era that add to our rich cultural heritage. I will just mention two: our democratic system of governance and the freedom of expression that gave birth to the Gleaner. I'm sure you will agree with me that the two are intricately bounded in that one facilitates the other, while the second ensures preservation of the former. The birth of the Gleaner on Harbour Street in Kingston, some 189 years ago, may well have signaled the initial steps in Jamaica's long march on the road to political independence in 1962, as its pages and news columns helped to open up the minds of Jamaicans and gave a free, unbridled voice to the voiceless, a voice that reached far and wide to educate, inform, and entertain the people of the world around them, and to give them motivation. Brothers Jacob and Joshua de Cordova may not have seen that far into the future, but with the growing population of Jamaican and other Caribbean nationals in the United Kingdom, there arose the need for them to be learning more about their homeland from the perspective of their own people. And so the UK edition of the weekly Gleaner began rolling off a printing press and into the hands of readers eager to learn more about what's happening back a yard and throughout the wider Caribbean. It is no wonder then that it has earned the reputation of being the newspaper of record for Jamaica, while holding firmly to its position as being the oldest continuously published newspaper in the Western Hemisphere. One rarely hears reference anymore to the grand old lady of North Street. And that's because, to borrow a phrase, being new yet old, the Gleaner has been consistently renewing itself to remain relevant among its readers and advertisers, always striving to maintain its reputation as a credible source for news, views, and general information from and about the Jamaicans and Jamaica, as well as the world around us. I thought I'd take a minute to highlight where we're coming from and to implore you to never lose sight of the awesome responsibility you have as a respected media house. It is in that vein that I pause to offer my own congratulations to the recipients of your special honor awards. As outstanding individuals and organizations of Jamaican descent, you're being recognized for the noteworthy contributions that you have made in various fields. I implore you to cherish this recognition. Congratulations to you, the awardees. And I know that which has characterized your efforts over the years to achieve the excellence for which you are now being rewarded will sustain you as we move forward to be innovative and nimble and be responsive to the changes that are ahead of us. Thank you.
Welcome back to the RGR Gleaner UK Honour Awards.
So we are gathered here today with all of our esteemed nominees across 19 categories. And let me tell you, each and every one of them has made an impact in some way on someone here in the United Kingdom and has contributed some great things to our culture. Now, with all of our nominees here today doing such great things, the judges had a really difficult task of deciding the winners. So let me just refresh you on the criteria. The UK Honour Awards seeks to identify individuals, organisations or groups whose initiative or achievements has significantly improved the quality of life in 2022 or has the potential to do so in the near future. Of course, nominees must be of Jamaican heritage and living in the UK. And nominations were received from the public, but other recommendations were considered, leaving a panel of judges with the very tough job of selecting the recipient from all of the nominees submitted. So without further ado, on to our first category.
In the category Arts and Culture, Tony Fairweather, Rosemary Hudson, Sharon Wallace, Marcus James, Neil Kenlock.
Well, this is pretty special because we actually have two winners. That's right. The first is Tony Fairweather.
I was one of the early pioneers of black literature in the UK, and I went on to form a company called The Right Thing that promoted people like Toni Morrison, Terry McMillan, Jean Binta Breeze, Ben Ockery, Susan L. Taylor, and so on. And also I moved on to the Windrush collection with the travelling exhibition of items from the 60s right through to the late 80s. So this is what my legacy is. I also have a book called £28, 10 shillings, which is in the top 100 sellers in the UK, and I'm very proud of that, which tells the story of the Windrush people. Well, I was in Jamaica in May this year promoting this book, and I was wanting to show it to my homeland people, the story of the Windrush people who came here in 1948 to make a life for themselves, but they also built the economy of the Caribbean people. In 1948, things are hard in the Caribbean. The people who came to London sent back those postal orders that built the economy of the Caribbean. So never underestimate the Windrush generation.
And the second is Marcus James. Marcus is an actor and a performer, and he is the essence of talent. Some of you will know him from his stint as White Rat on the cultural phenomenon which is the Game of Thrones. For those Game of Thrones fans of you in here today, and he really is making waves around the world. He started in Lion King, and he's now stage, screen, and all things, and he's performing alongside luminaries like Vivica Fox and Eric Roberts in the hit LMN series Keeping Up with the Joneses. Please put your hands together, even though he's not here, for Marcus James. Thank you very much. We have a very special award coming up right now, a special recognition award to somebody I can say has been a dear friend over the years, has been a mentor, has been a pillar of our community, and has pioneered and blazed a trail in so many different arenas and fields. Some of you may be familiar with him from Choice FM days. Some of you may be familiar with him from Rude magazine. And some of you may be familiar with some of the wonderful images that he has captured over the decades, documenting our history. He was at the cutting edge of that in some really tough times, and he's captured some tremendous images that will stand the test of time, and will just provide a legacy for the new generations coming to look back on. He's the one and only Neil Kenlock. Everybody, please put your hands together. Neil has captured life through the lens of cultural heritage and also social activism. As the official photographer for the UK Black Panthers, please be upstanding for Mr. Neil Kenlock.
In the category Business and Commerce, Original Tasty Jerk, Twanika Morrison Alcindor, Sophie Allison, J.N. Bank, Victoria Mutual Building Society VMBS, Grace Kennedy, The Voice Newspaper UK, The Original Patty Company, Charmaine Silva, Marcia McLaughlin.
It gives me delight to announce that the winner is the Original Tasty Jerk. So 20 years ago, Freddie Williams and Murphy Lawrence transformed a pub car park in Thornton Heath into a Sunday sanctuary of Jamaican jerk cuisine. And today their legacy lives on through Original Tasty Jerk, which is a family-run business and the oldest jerk shop in the area. Employing over 20 young black individuals, many stepping into their first jobs through Original Tasty Jerk. They are a pillar of community empowerment, and the shop proudly flies the Jamaican flag and sources from black suppliers and engages in philanthropic endeavours, supporting local black charities and events. They're more than just a culinary haven. Original Tasty Jerk stands as a vibrant testament to the indomitable spirit of Jamaican culture and, of course, community solidarity. Please give it up one more time for Original Tasty Jerk. Now we have another special recognition award in this category. And this actually goes to JN Bank. And they are literally the paragon of financial empowerment and customer-centered innovation rooted in our land that we love, Jamaica.
In the category Education, Iselin Bailey, Lloyd Della Pena, Nadia Hogan Low 10Q, Cynthia Graham, Veronica Martin, Paula Perry.
So the winner is Lloyd Della Pena. Please put your hands together for Lloyd Della Pena. Now we've got a few special recognition awards today because let's just say we are a special people from a very special place. So Mr. Rudy Page is going to present the next award for us. And this award goes to a pioneer educator for her unwavering commitment to education and community empowerment. Please put your hands together for Cynthia Graham, everybody.
I just want to say it's never too late for a shower. Yes, when I heard the news, I was a bit, flabbergasted and said, well, anyway, the old saying is, it's never too late for a shower of rain. And so I want to be very thankful for this award today. Bless you all.
Welcome back to the RGR Gleaner UK Honour Awards.
Grace Kennedy is a proud sponsor of the Gleaner UK Honours Awards 2023, which celebrates excellence and achievements among the Jamaican diaspora in the UK. It is an honour to be associated with so many incredible individuals and organisations. At GK, we understand the importance of making a positive impact in the communities we serve, a value which is deeply ingrained in our company's We Care ethos. We have been dedicated to serving our communities both locally and overseas for over a century. Our journey began in Jamaica, but thanks to the unwavering support of our valued stakeholders like you, we have grown into a global organization. Through hard work and determination, as proud Jamaicans, we have harnessed the best our country has to offer and spread it across the globe. This is a story of Grace Kennedy, one which mirrors the resilience and success of our diaspora. Jamaica boasts a rich culture, heritage, and legacy. I am filled with pride when I see our black, green, and gold flag flying high. Our Jamaican products on international supermarket shelves, the sound of reggae music on global areas, are reminders of our deep love for Jamaica. The contributions of our diaspora have been critical to Jamaica's growth and success. Your dedication to our homeland shows the strength of our Jamaican spirit. This year, we celebrate the 75th anniversary of the Windrush, a significant milestone which reminds us of the contributions of the Jamaica diaspora in the United Kingdom. The courage, resilience, and determination of the Windrush generation has left us an enduring legacy. We all have a responsibility to carry this legacy forward by striving to make a meaningful difference in the lives of others. Thank you to the Gleaner for inviting us to be a part of this special occasion. We are inspired by all the nominees who are working in their communities to build a brighter future with their Jamaican flag flying high. God bless you all, and God bless Jamaica, land we love.
In In the category Entertainment, Kayo Brown, Johnny Orlando, Junior Giscom, Richard Blackwood, John Fisher, Daddy Ernie, Angie Lamar.
It gives me great pleasure to say that once again we have two winners and two very deserving winners, both of whom I know and love dearly, who have done some great things over the decades and really pioneered in their fields in the UK. The first winner is Junior Giscom. He looks shocked.
My Jamaican connection. My mother and father were born in Jamaica. My grannies, everybody was born in Jamaica. My mum came from Kingston. My dad from St. Mary's. I've been back to Jamaica from 1969. Every pretty much year from that time. Have my own property in Jamaica as well, which I'm really proud of. And I go back down every year. So I spend more time in Jamaica than I do in England. But I try not to make anybody know what I do as a living. That way I can live in Jamaica in peace and enjoy the sun and the food and everything else. I've been buying the Gleaner as a youth man in England, right, for a good few years. RJR I always listen to when I go over to Jamaica and I'm driving around the island. This is very, very special to me. I've been very fortunate in my life to win a Grammy for the work that I've done. So to be appreciated by my own back in Jamaica for what I have done or tried to achieve or have achieved is monumental for me, and I can't thank RJR and the Gleaner enough. This is more than I could have ever dreamt of. As I said, I've won a Grammy, so everybody would say, how can you put a Grammy up against this? A Grammy came from America and that was really cool. But this is from my own people, and that is cooler than cool.
And the second winner is Mr. Daddy Ernie. He's the cornerstone of the reggae music industry in the UK and beyond. And he was also born in London to Jamaican parents, and he inherited his father's love for the music. I won't even say inherited, it's just in the blood. This is what happens. It passes through your DNA, and his love for sound systems. And from his teenage years, he ventured into establishing his own sound system and obviously went into radio. A lot of us will know him from Choice FM. And also now he is a resident on Vibes FM. On the British Airways audio is a playlist from Daddy Ernie. Now come on, guys. So put your hands together once more for Junior Giscom and Daddy Ernie, everybody. We have another special recognition award. This award goes to somebody who is a record producer and a songwriter with over 5 decades of music experience and talent under his belt. This award goes to Mr. Johnny Orlando.
In the category Organizations Social Clubs, Ras Thomas Martin, the Balamant Tooting Sports and Social Club, Yvette MacDonald, Mount Pleasant Jamaica Association UK, Windrush Legacy Foundation, National Windrush Organization Compensation Partnership Program.
We get a round of applause, please, for those list of nominees. And the winner for this category is the Balham and Tooting Sports and Social Club. Give it up.
It means a great deal to me. It means a great deal to the members of the club because they have worked so hard to be where we are today. And for them to accept this at this stage, it's something they are proud of.
Welcome back to the RJR Gleaner UK Honour Awards.
So on to the next award. And for this category, we are also giving the Windrush 75 awards to the Windrush Legacy Foundation and National Windrush Organisation Compensation Partnership Programme for this section of the awards, another special award. As we celebrate 75 years of the Windrush, we know the struggle that has ensued and we know some of the scandal that's come along with that. But we continue to fight and we continue to champion those who came before us and make sure that we are respected in the way that we should be, especially because we have contributed so much to this country.
So we've established two major projects. One is the Windrush Housing Association, which provides social housing for a lot of people who are not properly accompanied or supported. And the other one is the Windrush Compensation Scheme, which is the Windrush National Organisation, which is fighting to get the £597 million that's been put aside by the British government, but unfortunately very few of the Jamaicans are actually applying, and yet they're entitled to that money. What I think is very important, particularly from the Gleaner newspaper that's been here for many, many decades, I think it gives a synchronicity with a number of other Windrush organisations up and down the country that need to be recognised, and the Gleaner, to me, is a true information service for our Windrush first, second and third generation community.
It means quite a lot. When the first generation stepped off the ship back 75 years ago, first set foot in England, it meant a lot. They came here not knowing nothing, yet they laid a foundation for people like myself and yourselves and all the other people out there, and we need to build on that legacy, on that foundation, and also bring the black community more forward into more positive and a more realization.
In the category Public Service, Andrea Graham, Veronica Martin, OBE.
Veronica Martin, OBE, put your hands together.
My background is in advertising. I worked at the Voice newspaper for a good 10 years, and from then I've been living Jamaica life with my mother, who retired there back in 1970s, and I go there every 4 years doing things with young people. However, the UK's Jamaican young people are so important, so what I did was set up Beyond Our Youth to connect them with mentors and various different organisations. So, you know, Jamaica the thing. That's how I roll. And obviously having my OBE was magnificent. It was presented to me by King Charles. That was his first investiture. And I must say, when I went back to Jamaica, my mother was celebrating. In fact, I had to give her the award. So I think this one is going to go to my mum as well. For me, it's like coming home because, as I said, I used to work for The Voice, and, you know, The Gleaner was one of those newspapers my mum would read. So for it to come from The Gleaner actually will show my mother that I've made it. I've made it into The Gleaner. She'll be so proud of me.
In the category Science and Technology, Dr. Pearl Jarrett.
There is only one nominee for this category, and the winner is Dr. Pearl Jarrett, everybody.
So we went to Jamaica when it was Jamaica 50th, 2012. So I said, how can I help? And they said, furniture, school furniture. And I didn't know anything about school furniture, and I just thought, okay, I'll figure it out when I come back. Anyway, cut a long story short, I contacted every school in my borough, and they started to send me furniture, and I begged somebody to give me a warehouse, I begged somebody to give me a van to pick them up, I begged somebody to help me ship it, and in the end we shipped 8 40-foot containers and kitted out 136 schools. Every award is special, and particularly when you get an international award, it makes it even more special, because this is my Jamaica award, yay! So it just means I do a lot of work in the UK, but I'm very proud of the work I do in Jamaica. So apart from the schools, we sent down 2 million face masks during COVID to the value of almost £1 million. And now I'm working on solar energy and water. So this, for me, is great because my journey continues, and this is just the next step.
In the category Sports, Janice Irwin.
Who do you think the winner is? You're too intelligent in this room. Yes, our winner is Janice Irwin. Please put your hands together for Janice.
So my involvement in achievement in sport is that I've been doing karate for 40 years. During the 90s, I was part of the British team that I must say was mainly Caribbean. So Jamaican, Dominican, Grenadian, all islands, but our heritage was mainly, and we were the British team. So karate wasn't in the Olympics. Had we been in the Olympics, we would have been the team that represented. And it was a very, very successful squad. It had been successful from the 70s. I won, when I retired, I was world and European karate champion. I think I won world titles, about 4 or 5, and European about the same. Competing in karate. Winning this award really means a lot to me, to be recognised for representing the country as a Caribbean, and also moving on from, so when I finished in the sporting world, I carried on teaching, and I really would like to encourage our community to bring more children to learning karate, because it gives you so many benefits. I think we associate with, we're learning to fight, but it gives you so much more than that, in terms of focus, determination, discipline. Really, we should bring our young people to it, and myself and my husband, the Jamaican half of me, started a group called Ageless Teenagers, which are the senior end of our community, and with them we're also doing karate. So they are learning karate. It is fantastic for cognitive skills and memory.
Welcome back to the RGR Gleaner UK Honour Awards.
In the category Voluntary Service, Akeem Mundell, Beverly Thompson, Claudine Martin.
May I have a round of applause for those nominees, please? And I'm pleased to say that the winner of voluntary service is Akeem Mundell. Put your hands together for Akeem. Now, Akeem is a beacon of community activism, leveraging multifaceted roles to uplift Manchester's residents. At the core of his endeavours is Manchester Job Opportunities, which is a digital hub that provides jobs for young people. Please put your hands together one more time for Mr. Akeem Mundell.
In the category of Health and Wellness, Tony Kelly.
Please put your hands together for our nominee and winner. Welcome to the stage, Mr. Tony Kelly.
I grew up in Whitehall, St. Thomas, and came back to Britain. I went to Microteachers Training College. I taught in the high schools in Kingston. Came back to Britain, fast forward 1979. But prior to coming back, saw lots of relatives of mine who had various complications from type 2 diabetes. I now have the condition. I've had it for 18 years, this Christmas 19, but I've never taken medication. I'm a firm believer in doing physical activity, what some people like to call exercise. I prefer physical activity. So I do Zumba, Pilates, yoga, badminton, aquarobics, and in later life have learned to swim. And black people, we're surrounded by the Caribbean Sea. We need to start to learn to swim. That's a very good form of physical activity. And I basically go all over the world. I just was in Jamaica last year and in Barbados during Diabetes Awareness Month, which is November, giving talks in 7 different parishes to people about their health and their well-being and doing physical activity. And I must thank Carl Morgan and Val Benjamin, who both independently nominated me for this RJR Gleaner Health and Wellbeing Award, of which I'm very thankful that I've won it. I'm very pleased. I'm chuffed.
In the category of public health, Egla Akins.
Can you please give it up for Elga, our winner of the Public Health UK Gleaner Honour Award?
So for the last 20 years I have been working in cancer clinical trials, breast cancer, gynecology cancer, just about anything. And now I'm currently working as an educator, still within cancer clinical trials. It's been my passion, you know. We've seen drugs move from the test tube, from the lab into patients, and now becoming standard of care. So I'm very proud to be part of that story. Cancer was once a death diagnosis. Now it's more a chronic disease, and so I'm also quite proud to be able to celebrate that. And this award today, for me, I'm very proud, but I'm receiving it on behalf of all my Jamaican nurses and black nurses as well, because we're quite underrepresented in this field. So yeah, I'm really just very proud of this moment, and I really want to thank my nominator and everyone for just encouraging me along the way. I didn't get here by myself. So many people have contributed. So thank you.
Now we have another special award that was actually awarded last year, but the recipient was unable to be here last year to collect the award in person. But I'm delighted to say that she is here with us tonight to collect her award. Please put your hands together for the legend that is Tessa Sanderson.
And to get this award means an awful lot, very, very much so. And it'll take pride on my mantelpiece. The Gleaner, thank you to all the voters, The Voice, I work with it here. So all the community papers mean a lot to me. And this is a tremendous award. Thank you.
For this Platinum Award, we present a man whose resilience, fortitude and grace has inspired a nation. Mr. Neville Lawrence. And of course, he is the father of the late Stephen Lawrence, who was tragically and cruelly taken from us over 3 decades ago. Mr. Lawrence has stood unwaveringly at the forefront of justice, bearing an unimaginable burden and pain that no parent should ever have to carry. The tragedy of losing his son Stephen to a violent attack and his personal sorrow propelled him into a tireless advocacy for justice, not just for his son, but for all of those who have suffered a similar fate. And with all of that, it's his capacity for forgiveness that really marks him as an extraordinary man. He chose to forgive his son's murderers, and that takes a real strength of character.
I left Jamaica when I was 18 years old, in 1960. And for the first time, I didn't know what racism was when I was here. And when I got to England, I started to realize what racism is. I knew about prejudice, but not racism. And it was an eye-opener. It's not heaven. It's a different system, a different culture, and you're treated in a different way than when you're here with your own people. And I have to say thanks to the Almighty for allowing me to leave this island, made my life abroad, tragedy struck, and I'm still sitting here, and it's only by the help of the Almighty that I'm talking to you, because some of the things that we went through when my son was murdered, I started thinking, how can I try to make people understand that we are human beings? And something said to me, you know what? These people, these adults, have already grown up with the ways that they have. And to make a change, I think, would be the best thing to do is to go to schools and talk to the younger generation. And that's what I started doing. And I think even this last year when I left England and came here, I went to a school. And I think in the audience that day when I was speaking to nearly 300 young people, and you could see, they could understand the pain that our family been through for the last 30 years. And some of the changes that I'm seeing now, I think it's because the younger generation weren't able to understand some of the issues that we go through when we left our island and go to places like America and England. And so I'm always grateful for anybody who kind of show me any kind of honor. I'd like to thank the UK Weekly Gleaner for this absolutely beautiful award. I thank them very much for even considering to give me this award, and I'm humbled and grateful.
And here to collect the award on behalf of Dr. Neville Lawrence is Mr. John Alazar from Kingston Racial Equality. So guys, we've done it again. Another year, another awards, another fantastic lunch, great nominees, very well-deserving award winners. And it just remains to say, you know what, we must continue to celebrate our excellence. From this small little island in the Caribbean has come so much greatness and continues to come so much greatness. From our infectious spirit and energy to our entrepreneurship, to our generosity of spirit and heart, to our creativity, our music, our sporting greats. The list goes on and on, it's endless. And of course, Jamaica being the #1 destination in the Caribbean for tourism in the UK. All of this is just such great accolades and achievement. We have to continue to shine a light. We have to continue to celebrate. We will be back for another year next year. So of course, for those of you in the room, and please take this away too, if there are any individuals or organisations that you think should be put up for nomination, then get in touch with the Weekly Gleaner. Get in touch with Mr. Rudy Page, who is the chairman of the awards, and so we can continue to give people their flowers while they're still here.